Around the world, astronomers have viewed the night sky in an attempt to see all the finer details of the heavens. We have built bigger and better equipment, and expanded our knowledge of the universe, all the while trying to see deeper into space. But here in our night sky there is still much to see with the naked eye, even for an amateur stargazer. Some of the most amazing structures in the night sky can be seen with little to no equipment, allowing anyone to see some truly spectacular scenes. Here are the top 10 most detailed objects from Earth. Number 1. Lunar craters. The Moon's craters can easily be seen with a naked eye from 250,000 miles, or roughly 400,000 kilometers, away from Earth. The largest crater is over 181 miles in diameter, or 290 kilometers, and is located on the South Pole, while the smallest craters ever found on the Moon's surface were located on samples returned to Earth and have been recorded to be microscopic in size. These samples further prove the Moon's little to no atmosphere, which would have allowed much smaller interstellar particles to collide with the Moon's surface when compared to Earth. Number 2. Jupiter's bands. Jupiter is an extremely detailed gas giant whose atmosphere reflects various shapes and visible colors. It doesn't take much to view the bands, or the famous red spot, as a basic set of binoculars or a telescope will suffice. The bands are made up of various elements mainly consisting of hydrogen and helium with trace amounts of water, ice, and ammonia. The swirling patterns are caused by zonal atmospheric flows known as jets. These can be easily characterized into 12 main visible bands across the planet's surface. Number 3. The rings of Saturn. Saturn's rings consist almost entirely of ice, with trace amounts of rocky material ranging in size from a few micrometers to meters in size. They are extremely visible from anywhere on Earth and can be observed with a simple, low-cost telescope. The first reported instance occurred in 1655 when astronomer Christian Huygens spotted the rings of Saturn using a 50x refractor. In contrast, Galileo used a 10x magnified optic for a majority of his work, as the lenses allowing for 20x magnification had yet to be invented until later in his life. Huygens was the first astronomer to spot the rings as a separate entity from the planet, which before, it was believed the planet consisted of 3 separate celestial objects moving in sync. Number 4. Mars's polar ice caps. Mars polar ice caps are an extremely challenging, yet rewarding object to properly view with an amateur telescope. The ice consists mainly of solid water and carbon dioxide, of which, the carbon dioxide vaporizes during the summer, then freezes again in the winter. These seasonal changes create openings in the landscape, allowing astronomers to view under the ice and to study weather patterns. Most stargazers wishing to see the ice caps should use a telescope with an aperture larger than 6 inches, or 150 millimeters, with the highest magnification you can achieve. Lenses can also be used to bring out the contrast between the red and blue, or white, from the poles. Number 5. Satellites. Since 1957, there have been approximately 6,600 satellites launched into orbit around the Earth, and as of 2013 there remains only 3,600 active. Satellites are used for various reasons, from seeing the stars to watching this video. Therefore, they orbit the Earth at various altitudes, making them incredibly easy to spot with the naked eye. Specific details of the satellites are difficult to acquire due to the fast movement across the sky, but this also makes them incredibly easy to identify. Viewing satellites with a telescope can be a challenge. However, events such as iridium flares, when sunlight reflects off the satellite, can easily be spotted with the naked eye. Number 6. The International Space Station. The International Space Station, or ISS, is a habitable space station orbiting at an altitude of 205 to 270 miles, or 330 to 435 kilometers. It is capable of being spotted with a simple telescope, but, due to its incredible velocity and low altitude, it is incredibly difficult to track and view with a high-power optic. This speed also makes it very easy to spot with the naked eye, as at first glance it appears to be a rapidly moving star. Number 7. The Milky Way. The Milky Way is one of the most detailed celestial objects in our night sky that can also be enjoyed with the naked eye. Ranging, in diameter, between 100,000 and 180,000 light-years, the Milky Way exists due to stars similar to our own solar system. It is estimated there are between 100 and 400 billion other stars, existing in a hazy, milky structure in our night sky. It is also estimated that the Milky Way covers as much as 30 degrees of our night sky, making it easy to spot on a dark night. Number 8. Constellations. There are a total of 88 constellations in our night sky, most of which can only be seen during certain times of the day, or even certain parts of the planet. In the past, it was common practice for astronomers to gain recognition by naming constellations after telescopes. These telescope constellations were basically just a string of stars in a line and had no apparent reason for the name. Most astronomers decided to name these constellations after their own notes rather than any international standards, meaning that the only difference between telescope constellation number 1 was the founder of the constellation, or even possibly a number, which was probably already being used by someone else. Number 9. Nebulae. Nebulae are generic terms for any diffuse astronomical objects, including galaxies, beyond the Andromeda Galaxy. What this means is nebulae are clouds of gas and dust, mainly of hydrogen and helium, and can be as large as hundreds of light years in diameter. These gases allow nebulas to contain unique colors, shapes, and sizes, with the brightest nebula, Orion, existing as twice the diameter of the full moon. Most nebula clouds are difficult to spot without the proper optical filters, as even the Orion Nebula was missed by early astronomers. Number 10. Galaxies. Galaxies are also clouds of gas and dust, existing as hundreds of billions of stars. These celestial objects include enough gas and dust particles to create billions more stars, and are being pulled inward towards a supermassive black hole. Galaxies can be incredibly rewarding to view, as every galaxy has a unique property to it. Most appear as spirals, however shapes, colors, and sizes can range, with some galaxies being as large as hundreds of thousands of light years across. There you have it, the top 10 most detailed objects from Earth. If you enjoyed the video, and want to see more like it, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more interesting space and astronomy videos. Also, if you have any suggestions or comments, let me know in the comments section down below.